Femme House Fam. It is her Mix-a-Lot, voice of house, Femi honoree, the one, the only Miss Crystal Waters. What's happening?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. It's been a long time coming. You come to everything else. You might as well come to the radio show.
He said, I come to everything else. Yep, I'm here. I'm here for it.
It is Pride Month. It is also Black Music Month. To me, you are absolutely the pinnacle of both as a pioneer of this game, as a pioneer in house music. How does it feel to be a legend?
Um, I think when I hear that, it means I've been around a long time. But it means to me that I made a lot of people happy. So I just hope when people say that I brought some joy into their life somehow, some way, or maybe inspired people in some way. So that makes me feel good that I've done something in my life that made somebody happy.
Can you tell people your origin story? Like, how do you make it from Baltimore to just everywhere in the world several times over? I see your plaques on the wall. You got your home.
Yeah, I'm in my little recording studio, my writing studio. I started actually, I'm based in Washington, DC. So I started at Howard University, and I'll keep it short for you guys. I met the Basement Boys here in Washington, DC, and they're based in Baltimore, so that's why people think I'm from Baltimore. And I was doing more of like a Sade style. I wanted to be the next Sade. If you look at the video, I have the red lipstick on and the ponytail. And, they sent me these tracks. The only time we used to hear dance music, house music, wasn't even called house music here in DC, was in the clubs late at night or late night radio. So when they sent me these tracks, I was like, "What is this music?" And so they sent me these tracks, and the first 2 songs I wrote was Gypsy Woman and Make It Happy. And this was back when, I had to drive to Baltimore to sing it to them because I rented a little 4 track, but I had to drive back and forth whenever I wrote a song. And they heard Gypsy Woman and they just fell out of the chair. So that was the beginning of it. They asked me, to start like as a songwriter, and then once they started shopping the demo, everybody just loved my voice on it. So then, overnight I became a singer-songwriter at that point, and that's where it all began, working with the Basement Boys.
I think it's absolutely insane that one of the first songs you ever wrote was Gypsy Woman, which has gone on to be arguably the blueprint for dance music top lining, certainly for dance music lyric writing.
Mm, yeah.
Like, what are you
Well,
talking
well,
about?
it wasn't the first song I wrote. It was the first song I wrote to, dance music. I mean, I spent a lot of time writing poetry in high school. I was inducted into the Poetry Hall of Fame some way back when. So lyrics to me, and I was at Howard University, and it was always, we were taught to fight for people's rights, always stand up for something. So I had a lot of that going on. I was part of Amnesty International. So when it came to the homeless thing, that's what was happening here in DC, a lot of it. And the story is actually about a woman I used to actually see on the street. She had a full face of makeup, fully dressed in black, looked fine, and I had this attitude, "Oh, she don't need nobody else, but she need to go get a job. There's nothing wrong with her." And then the local paper did a story and told her story about how she lost her job and lost almost everything within a matter of days. And it just changed my whole attitude about homelessness, like it could be you and me just like that. And the one thing that stuck in my head from the story was that she said the reason why she had the full face of makeup and the clothes was that if she was gonna ask people for money, she should be respectable. And that just
Mhm.
kinda so that's the first line of the song. She wakes up early every morning just to do her hair because she cares. So that's really where that story came from.
What is your approach after so long setting the blueprint, literally creating the records of our lifetimes, creating actual records on the charts and stuff like that? What is your approach to keep things fresh and keep these energized at this stage in the game when you were fully, if you ask me if I was a legend, I would just be somebody
Sit
be
down.
feeding me chocolate covered strawberries, but you
Don't don't
continually
think I haven't
push the
thought about
envelope.
it. Okay, I haven't thought of
You
that.
continue to press forward, you continue to set new culture for us, you continue to work on new projects, you continue to reinvigorate your catalog. What's going on with you, girl?
I love music. I love music. It's like the one thing in my life that I cannot do without, water and music. And I think just one of the reasons why I started my radio show because I know there's a lot of good new music out there. I know there's talent, but I couldn't find it anywhere, especially like during COVID. I was like, where is the music?
Yeah.
And and once I did that, I started hearing all the new music, and that got inspired me, like, "Oh, I can write that. Oh, I like that sound." And I started meeting all these new producers, all these young guys, and, I just love the creative process. So at this point, I don't have the weight on my shoulders anymore to produce that big hit, even though I would like one, but I don't think I have that stress anymore, so it's just fun now to, like, just write with these other people. I don't wanna let them down because I know they want a big hit. But it's to me, it's just fun, and I still wanna create. It's the whole thing, and I'm expanding now because I wanna do more than just I've been touring for 35 years, so I kinda wanna start creating other in other avenues, like I'm doing the, I Am House Orchestrated. I'm also working on a little TV project, so and events. So I kinda feel like I'm kinda moving behind the scene a little bit in the background a little bit now.
Can you talk to the fam about I Am House Orchestrated? It is just one of the coolest things I think that
Yeah.
exists in house music. I love that you've got your sisters with you. I love that you've
They
got your
came out.
longtime collaborators with you. Can you just speak to what that is?
That is we have taken and let me preface this that they've been doing this overseas, putting dance songs to orchestra, but they would only bring, like, 1 American over, budgets probably, and I did it, and I was like, "Well, I know all the people. We're all in New York."
Yeah.
So I could have all the girls. And it was just something that was on my mind, and I kept seeing a vision of it, and then I just said, "Let's do it." My team was like they were down. I thought they were gonna say like, "Oh, I don't know if we can do all that." But we're taking all the classic dance hits, got 22 of them so far, and we're putting it to an orchestrated orchestra. It's all orchestrated. I got Robin as CeCe Peniston, Anaya Day. Anaya Day is also my musical director, so she does double duty.
Oh.
Dwayne Harden, who else we had Alternate, we had, Thea Austin, Byron Sting. Anyway, all the greats. I'm getting ready to plan another one, so we're trying to get even some more people, but it's an experience that you really have to come and see because it's the vibrations of an orchestra with this music is very uplifting and empowering, and the people just came in, and you could just see that they were in awe, like the mouths were open, and I thought everybody was gonna leave at 10:30 when it was over. They stayed until 1 o'clock and danced and had the best time, so it's really an experience. The people really should come out and see it.
As mentioned, it is Pride Month and also Black Music Month. You have been um, a tremendous ally, and you were being an ally to the queer community before it was sort of in vogue to do that. What does this community mean to you, and how have they continued to show up? I know you're doing your Pride Circuit. Girl, I've been trying to get you. I tried to book you for 3, 4 different things, and they're like, "No, it's
Not
Pride
in
Month. We
June,
doing a
girl, not in
circuit."
June. Uh-uh. What it means when I first started, the gay community took me in. They loved my music, they accepted me. You have to realize back then house music was not accepted, it was a fad. They told me I wasn't doing real music, it's just gonna pass. I got beat up pretty bad, but I loved it. And the gay community took me in. I got in with, a couple of the houses, with the dancers, the House of Milan, I remember, and the drag queens, and they taught me how to do makeup. I learned about emoting because I kinda got thrust into it with Gypsy Woman, and I just I learned all my stage presence and all that kinda stuff from being in that community, and they've stuck with me all these years. Um, and there's a lot of people, a lot of personalities that fought for the rights who didn't make it, and I remember them clearly. And I do a lot of they started calling prize festivals, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you gotta keep the pride in there because there were a lot of people who fought for this and didn't make it, and you're standing on the shoulders of giants, and I just wanna make sure everybody's remembered for that, you know?"
Um, 35 years touring. What do you say to young Crystal who maybe we thought she was gonna be the next Sade, you know, singer-songwriter vibes, had the ponytail, had
Yeah.
the red lipstick, and then, you know, all of a sudden is dance music personified, if you ask me. What do you say to young Crystal at this point in your life? Imma tell her thank you.
Oh, yeah. I thank God every day that I wrote those songs, trust me. I just think I was so afraid of what other people thought. It was very hard to keep myself centered and just be me. Um, I think I would tell myself to be more brave,
Mm,
stand your ground. I think I did pretty good at standing my ground because everybody wanted me to do all this other stuff. Like they wanted me to be half naked, you know, in videos and stuff. I'm like, no, that's not me.
yeah.
But I would say be more brave. Um, if I had known that this song would last, these songs would last all these years, I think that's the biggest thing to be more brave and do. I would have done even a lot more. And yeah, I would have been stronger, I think.
One of the things that you always you're known for mentoring the girls, like you and Ultra specifically, the way you show up for us young Black execs in the business and young Black artists in the business, specifically dance music, y'all are our lifeline. And one thing you always tell, both you and Ultra, make sure that paperwork is right. Get
Yeah.
that attorney first and foremost. What advice do you have to both aspiring young Black executives, young queer executives, young queer artists, young Black creators? What advice do you have to keep them going? Because as you know, you said, you know, early in your career, you were getting beat up. We getting beat up too.
I
And
know, still have. It's the
it's
music business.
yeah, you know, the music business, it'll beat you up. And I think that the interesting thing you could probably, I'm sure you've seen sort of uh, the ramifications of this, but you know, like you said, house music, it was the gays that were there. It was the Black people that were there. It was, you know, it's ours. We created it. We breathed life into it. And now there's all these ways in which we're fighting to stay at the center of it. What do you say?
Either be credited for
Or even
misrepresenting
ju
it.
yes, yes. So
Yeah.
what do you say to the girlies to keep them going?
I always say, you know, you have to have an attorney. I know everybody can't afford one, but there are groups and there's ASCAP. I say get out there to all those conferences, network, and talk to people to see what's going on because you get a lot of information. I know sometimes people go to a conference think they're going to get that one big deal, but that's not what it's about. It's meeting those people, having those conversations. That's a big thing. And I always like to tell, especially the singers, about having credit on the song. There's a lot of songs out there where you have female singing, you don't know who it is, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, it's not, you know, maybe the next one." You don't know if it's gonna blow up. It's important to have your name on it. It's important the order you have your name on it. It's important if you're featured or you use the word "and," because if you put the feature in, Spotify will put you down at the bottom of the list. So I always try to school people on, you know, the credits, how you put your name in the title and so how, because I see so much because there's different checks for each one, and I see a lot of people missing out, or I even see people on Instagram like, "Oh, she didn't get paid." I'm like, "Well, she can still get her PPL money." So it's like if your voice is on there, there's a check just to have your voice on there, you know? Then there's the royalty, then there's the publishing. So that's the kind of stuff I try to school people at because the publishing is where you're gonna make your money. Especially if you're not touring, it's either publishing or touring and merch, at this point. But, that's some of the what I see blaring from artists that they're not doing correctly right now.
Take it from a legend, y'all. Get that metadata together. Get that
Yes.
primary artist on the DSP. It's
Yes.
gonna show up in your profile, and they gonna know where to map your stuff.
Yeah.
Um we do this all the time, but I love you deeply. I am so it is just one of the greatest honors of my career that to know you, to live at the same time that you do, to give you your flowers, to have you pour into me. Thank you for everything you have done and continue to do for the culture. Happy Pride, happy Black Music Month. You to me are the definition of both. Thank you for
Oh,
being here.
thank you. Happy Pride. Happy Black Music Month.
Period. Femme House Fam, I am her mix-a-lot. This is the one, the only, the icon, Miss Crystal Waters.